Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to give you guys my review of the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter 70, The Greatest Warrior in the Universe. If I'm remembering correctly, that's what the title was. Now this chapter, I guess I should say, mostly focuses on Granolah. It doesn't really focus a lot on the characters of Goku and Vegeta, and if I'm being honest, I actually do like that because one of my biggest criticisms of modern Dragon Ball is that it tends to put the focus way too much on Goku and Vegeta. And one thing that and I'm sure a lot of people have been asking for, is to just move the spotlight, just put it on another character for just a little bit. Okay, tell us about characters that are not Goku and Vegeta. We love these characters, but we want to know more about other characters. And it seems like this chapter did do exactly that. And it's one of the reasons why I really like this chapter, because we get to know not only a lot about Granolah and his character, but we also do get some interesting world building through him. Now, this chapter focuses on Granolah, Goku and Vegeta, and the Heaters. I'm not going to focus too much on Goku and Vegeta because not really a lot happens with them. We just know that they're continuing their training over on Beerus' planet. And yeah, Vegeta's still trying to learn how to master Hakai, and Goku's trying to polish Ultra Instinct. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it when it comes to them. So let's just talk about Granolah. So in this chapter, Granolah does indeed get his wish to become the strongest in the universe. However, we find out through this chapter and through the dragon that wish, in order for Granolah to get what he wants, he has to accept a certain condition. So if you were someone who did not like the fact that Granolah just got that powerful just by wishing for it, you could take some solace in knowing that at least it does come with a condition, and it is a pretty big condition. And the fact that Granolah accepted it just shows you where he is and how desperate he is in order to get revenge on Frieza and the people who basically ruined his life. And honestly, when I read this chapter, after reading everything when it comes to Granolah, I got some vibes for two other series that I happen to really love. Now, whether or not Toriyama and Toyotaro whether they did that on purpose or if it was just by accident, they did sort of, it made it look like they got inspiration from two other series, and I'll get to that when I get to that, don't worry. So in this chapter, Granolah does indeed get his wish. He is now the strongest in the universe. And that's when, if you've seen the image with Granolah with long hair, that's where it comes from. Although, if I'm being honest, I don't know why they ended up giving him long hair, because he just ends up cutting it anyway. So, I mean, like, my question is, if you're just going to have him cut anyway, then why even bother giving him long hair in the first place? I don't know, to me, that just felt a little bit weird. But that being said, that's just a little nitpick when it comes to the actual manga. So Granolah does get his power, and then Monaito, the Namekian that lives with him, wakes up after Granolah starts testing his power a little bit. He wakes up and he goes outside and he sees Granolah, and he knows what happened to him. But just in case, he asks him, like, did you summon the dragon? And Granolah says yes. And Granolah in this chapter does act like a bit of a dick. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why that is, but like, again, this is a guy who apparently has been who's been a friend to him, and Granolah really likes him, but now it seems like he's just like he's completely not taking into account what Monaito is telling him. So when Granolah tells him that, I finally attained the greatest power in the universe, Monaito immediately knew that in order to get that, you had to have accepted the condition. And Granolah says, yes, I did accept the condition. And Monaito is shocked. He's asking him, like, wait a minute, why did you do that? Like, that just seems so reckless. And he tells him, like, listen, whenever someone starts throwing around power like that, you're just going to invite trouble. And that is indeed true. Like, again, all you gotta do is go back and watch Dragon Ball with Goku. It's like, every time Goku gets stronger and he starts showing people how strong he is, even though it wasn't indirectly, a lot of people do come trying to start trouble with him, and inadvertently causes trouble for, the rest of the planet, because usually the people that he goes up against are these just insanely planetary or universal level creatures, and it's insane. And it does get brought up here. And Monaito does make a point to Granolah, which he does ignore, and I feel like this is going to probably come back and bite him in the ass. But Monaito says, like, listen, you may be the strongest now, but you don't know about tomorrow. So it seems like if you're, again, like if you're pissed that Granolah just got this powerful from the wish, it does seem like he's not going to be the strongest forever. I feel like that line was dropped there purposefully in order to sort of hint that eventually Goku and Vegeta will probably get stronger than him, unless they, bring in other characters. But in all honesty, I've lost any hope of that happening. Just whatever. But yeah, it does seem like Goku and Vegeta are could get stronger than, because they are constantly training to improve themselves, and they're constantly getting stronger than their opponents. I mean, hell, that's pretty much a part of the formula for Dragon Ball. So after he gets his power, Granolah leaves and he heads over to the Heater's place in order to find out where Frieza is, because he says, I can't sense him in any of the nearby planets. And Monaito's shocked that, wait a minute, so if you have that much power, if you can do that, the condition had to be severe. And he asks him what it is, but Granolah doesn't answer him, and he just leaves. And we see Monaito upset, and he says this line that I'm hoping they do expand on this. But Monaito says, I've upended his life once again. At least that's what the translation said. The translation that I read for the spoiler summary said something a little bit different. But it seems that Monaito did have something to do, or at least is in some way involved with what happened to Granolah and his people. And again, I really hope they expand on this and they don't just forget it. So we'll have to wait and see. So he heads over to the Heater's palace and he asks for where Frieza's location is. They're trying to blow him off, but what ends up happening, in order to summarize, he basically ends up kicking two of their members' asses, and they recognize that, yeah, he is definitely the real deal, like he's no joke. So they ask him, okay, how did you get this strong? Granolah says, that's not for you to know. And Elec just says, okay, well then I'm not going to tell you where you can find Frieza. And then I found it a little bit hilarious that Granolah just gave in that quickly. Like, dude, if you know you're that much stronger, you can just force them to tell you where Frieza is. Like you don't have to, like you didn't have to reveal that information if you didn't want to. And when he asked him, like, how did you get this strong? He says, well, I used the Dragon Balls. And they figured, okay, yeah, I figured that had to be the case. And he tells them, okay, just wait a couple of days because we still don't know where exactly Frieza's location is. We'll let you know. But Granolah tells him to hurry up. And this is where we find out what the condition was. So the dragon tells him, when Granolah asks him to make him the strongest in the universe, the dragon tells him that I can only make you as strong as your latent potential will allow you to be. And that, that does make sense. Okay, so that does indeed make sense. And the dragon straight up tells him, like, okay, if I do that, you won't be the best in the universe. And Granolah tells him, like, okay, I only want to be the best. So the dragon then tells him, whom we find out in this chapter, his name is Torombo. He tells him that I can make you the strongest, but only if you accept a condition. Granolah asks what that condition is, and the dragon tells him that if I condense your lifespan, I can indeed make you the strongest. And Granolah just instantly accepts. Like he was basically told that you're basically going to be giving up the remainder of your lifespan in order to gain like this momentary amount of power. And Granolah saw no problem with that, and one of the Heater's members is definitely like shocked that he would do something that crazy. But I guess again, and once again, it goes to show you just where Granolah is at this point. Like he's that obsessed with revenge. And remember when I said that this chapter gave me vibes of two other series? Well, now that I've told you what Granolah did with the dragon and how it shows you just where he is, at least in his mindset, the two series that I'm talking about specifically are Naruto and Hunter x Hunter. Now, when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read it, because I do highly recommend anyone, if you haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, the anime, or if you haven't read the manga, I highly, highly recommend you go do that. Trust me, it is very, very good. And you'll find out why I said that this is giving me Hunter x Hunter vibes. But when it comes to Naruto, it reminds me of well, one of the main characters, Sasuke, and how obsessed he was with revenge that he was willing to do anything. He was willing to turn his back on his home, on the person that he considered to be his best friend, and he was even willing to hand over his body to Orochimaru if it meant that it could fulfill his wish of getting revenge on Itachi. Like, that's how obsessed he was. Thankfully, he ended up talking himself out of it. But yeah, again, it just gave me Naruto and Hunter x Hunter vibes. And again, I don't know if this was done on purpose, but yeah, there it is. So Granolah leaves and tells him that he only has about 3 years to live, which and for me is like plenty of time. Like, don't worry. And also we find out in this chapter that Cerealians apparently can live up to 2 centuries. And Granolah is actually 50 years old. Now, to us, that's pretty old, but to them, considering they said, they live up to 200 years, so that's like he's still pretty young in their years. So, yeah, so there's that. We know a little bit about Granolah and his people. And also, we find out in this chapter that the Cerealians apparently have worked with Frieza, and they were the ones who sort of set up the Saiyans to attack Planet Cereal in order to take monetary advantage of it. So they eventually could make money in order to basically rebuild the planet for the Shigerians, and basically it was just a job to them. Like, they planted everything just so they can get a payday. So yeah, they're pretty scummy. And their plan eventually, apparently when it comes to Granolah, is that they say that Granolah has to go, but they wonder how are they going to do that considering how fucking strong he is. So they say they're going to pit him up against Goku and Vegeta, and because Granolah wants to get revenge on everyone who wronged him, or especially his people, and one of those people do happen to be the Saiyans, even though they were only doing it under Frieza's orders. I don't think that's going to matter to Granolah. So they say they're going to pit Goku and Vegeta against Granolah. Now, this is interesting because it seems like they're setting up a fight between Granolah, Goku, and Frieza. Now, my prediction is that they're going to fight and Goku and Vegeta are going to lose. That's my prediction. Goku and Vegeta are going to lose, and to me, it's probably going to build up Granolah's ego even more about how strong he is. And that's eventually going to come back and bite him in the ass, because if he doesn't kill them, which I don't believe he will, which even if they do die, they could just bring them back with the Dragon Balls, because we know that this is still within the 10-year time skip. Goku and Vegeta are still going to go back, and they're still going to train, and then they'll come back, and for the rematch, they will beat Granolah, and he's going to be pissed. And he's going to find out it's because they actually trained to get where they are. They didn't just cheat by using the Dragon Balls. And I feel like that's probably going to be a theme when it comes to this chapter. But that's just my prediction. So, I think I've covered everything that I want to cover when it comes to this chapter. Yeah. So we find out about Granolah, and it seems like they're setting up a match between him and Goku and Vegeta. We found out a little bit about the Heaters and what their involvement with Planet Cereal, and we find out what the condition for Granolah's wish was. So all in all, I really like this chapter. I like that the main focus of the chapter was Granolah, and we got to find out the condition for his wish. If I'm being honest, I still don't like the fact that he made that wish, because to me it does kind of feel like they're kind of rushing it. Like, they didn't want to take the time to have Granolah actually work to earn, in order to earn the strength that he has. Which, again, I'm holding off judgment, because if they do have planned what I think they have planned, I feel like it's probably going to go into what they're probably trying to say when it comes to this chapter. So I'm going to hold off. Judgment on that until the end of the arc, because I really want to see where this goes. So I think I've said everything I wanted to say when it comes to this chapter. Guys, if you liked this video, and if you like my thoughts on this chapter, and if you want to know more, please consider leaving a like and sharing this video out there, and consider subscribing in order to get my review of the next chapter, chapter 71, when that comes out next month. All right. Thank you so much again for watching and listening. I really hope you enjoyed it, and please remember to stay safe and take care of yourselves as always, guys. And just like I said, subscribe if you want to, in order to join me for the next review. Bye for now.